Hey everybody, Brian Bauman from Bauman Farms, and welcome to my home. Uh, it's not perfect, so no judging, okay? But I wanted to give you a tour of my yard right now and show you some of the things that I have planted, where I planted them, why I planted them, to kind of fill some problem areas. And also, I really want to highlight what are my top 5 shrubs that are evergreen and bloom throughout the year, so that you can, I mean, it's probably the number one question I get when I'm in the nursery. You want something that looks good year round, evergreen preferably, blossoms are great, and I want to show you the plants that I picked out for my house that fill all those things. And along the way, we're going to talk about some other special treats, like this. I'm under strict orders. I can't bring home too many plants and then not plant them, because I just end up with a giant pile. I get distracted. And so I try and like put them up by my front door so that when I walk home at night and I see them, I'm like reminded I need to do this. So this is Chitalpa called El Nino. This is part of Janie's Best of the West program that she brought in. Bring Jessica in so you can see it just starting to push out its new growth here. And I've seen this on Garden Answer with Laura. And this is the first year that we've carried it at Bauman Farms. And it is a hardy shrub. I know very little about it other than it has these giant purple blossoms and smells good in the summertime. So this is going right up at my front door. I've got to plant that before I can bring home any more plants. But I have some other things. So this is my front door to my house, and I want something evergreen. I prefer it to have some fragrance, and I prefer it to bloom during the summertime. For example, this is a really cool shrub. This is one of my favorite shrubs. It's extremely hard to get, and my nursery staff is going to kill me for showing it to you because we do not have it right now. But I already have it on order for next year. This is a plant called Edgeworthia, sometimes called Chinese paper bush. And there are different varieties of Edgeworthia. The thing that makes this so cool is that it's just green right now, but in the fall, it's gonna come and put out these little buds out of here. And the buds will hang on there all winter, and it looks like Christmas ornaments hanging on it. And then in February, late January, the buds flare open. It's in the Daphne family, and it smells amazing, and I love it. But I hate the fact that it blooms in the wintertime because I'm just not outside enough. So I keep it by my front door. Next year, put the shrub on your wish list, and we should have it. I have lots on order for January of next year, but I don't have any right now. But what I do have right now, come on in, Jessica. This is one of my favorite shrubs, and I keep this right by my front door. It doesn't look all that exciting right now, but this is a gardenia called Frostproof. I have had this planted here for probably 8, maybe 10 years. I've been in this house for 11. This is one of the first plants I planted here, and it is evergreen. It looks like this year round. It took it a little while. I mean, it's been here 8 years. I prune it to kind of keep it a nice shape, but it really took a little while to fill out. But Jessica, come in, and you will see the first buds are already starting to emerge. And this gardenia is super fragrant, like fragrance on steroids. It is amazing. A lot of the hardy gardenias have like just a few petals around the outside. Clem's Hardy is one of them that I have good luck with coming back each year. But Frostproof is really hardy, a little bit bigger, and it has those big full blossoms. The blossoms are stunning. I pick them, I put them in my vases and stuff in the house. Like, the fragrance is amazing. One thing to remember with gardenias is they like lots and lots and lots of nitrogen. So every year, a couple times when I see the new growth starting to push out, I'm going to put some blood meal on here. Blood meal is pure nitrogen. It's all organic, which is great. And I'll put that around the base and water it in. I'll do that maybe once a month throughout the summertime and the early spring to get lots of new growth. You'll see some yellowing on the leaves sometimes, but that is indication you need more nitrogen. Blood meal is the way to go with that. Frostproof Gardenia, we do have this in stock right now at the nursery. But this is just one of the plants that I have in my garden. Come on over. Like, this was just a giant wall here with 2 windows on either side. I think there was nothing here when I started, if I remember right. And I wanted something to kind of fill in this gap. I want it to look good all the time. This is right up by the front door. This is right when people pull up to the front of the house, they see this right away. So I wanted something evergreen. I wanted something low maintenance. I wanted it to really kind of make a statement. This is my go-to plant. If you do not have this in your garden, you need to get it in your garden. This is Star Jasmine. Star Jasmine is the hardiest out of all the jasmines. It is evergreen, and you can tell, I mean, it is the solid hedge. And right now, as Jessica zooms in there, you can see all the little buds just starting to come out. And when we get done here in the garden, Jessica and me are going to go over to the nursery, and I'll show you some of the ones that we have in stock right now that are blooming. Oh my gosh, this smells wonderful. It blooms for a super long time, like 6 to 8 weeks throughout the summer. So it's going to start blooming in a couple weeks, so just around Father's Day, and it will keep going into August, which, what more can you want? It's evergreen. It's nice to have a trellis or something for it to climb up on. You can kind of pair it with some other plants that'll help as well. I fertilize this maybe a couple times in the springtime, and that's it. Sometimes gets a little bit of winter burn on it, but other than that, I let it go, and I trim it back. So I let it flower. It's going to flower. You can see it's got lots of shoots coming out. It's going to be covered in blossoms. When it is done flowering and it really kind of gets going, after that, I give it a good trim. Because I don't want to trim it early spring. I feel like I cut off a lot of the blossoms. It does kind of bloom on new growth, so it's not that important in terms of when you trim it. It's just kind of, that's what's worked best for me. Such a cool plant. If you are looking for an evergreen vine that smells good and blooms, perfect. I was on our way to kind of show you the next evergreen plant, and I wanted to stop and talk about this dogwood for a second. I love this dogwood. I mean, it is beautiful. It has this variegated white foliage. This is a Cornus cusa. Cornus cusa varieties bloom after the leaves come out, and then the blossoms come and kind of lay on the top of it. And Jessica, if you can kind of come in and see, I mean, look at these blossoms just laying out on the branches. So beautiful. This tree is super easy to take care of. It grows very slowly. So if you're looking for a tree for your yard that's going to give you nice variegated foliage and have beautiful flowers in the summertime and not grow super fast to the point where it's getting out of control, Cornus cusa dogwoods are a really good selection. This particular one is called Wolf Eyes. But at the farm, we have several different variegated options, and we have the pink and just white with regular green leaves as well. But dogwoods are, oh, so beautiful. I also, like sneaking in the corner over here, I kind of pair this red rose right up next to it. Look at this, Jessica. See all these little buds coming out now through the white dogwood. It's going to have the red with the white. They're blooming at the right time. Perfect. Here's another one of my kind of go-to landscape plants that are just bulletproof, look good almost year-round. So this is English lavender. There are different types of lavender. There's English, there's Spanish, and there's French. The English variety is what I have the best luck with in my garden in terms of coming back each year. I have had this bush here for 10 years. And there's a couple things. I mean, it looks good pretty much year round. You can see a lot of the flower spikes just starting to come up right now. I don't want to say I'm lazy, but I work a lot. And so I don't have time to get out here all the time and prune them, probably when I should. But I come early spring, I just let it do its thing all winter. It looks fine. Definitely has some leftover balloon spikes and stuff from the summer before. And I give mine a really healthy trim. I take off at least a third of it every year. And Jessica, if you come in here, like you can see, I definitely am starting, it's been here a while. You're gonna see some woody spots in here. But if you look closely, you'll see all the new growth starting to pop up out of the lavender. I can tell you what, in a couple weeks, not even that, a week of some nice 70-degree weather, this is going to fill in and just be a solid hedge of lavender. I find the English lavenders do a little bit better. I get a really nice bloom, and if I have enough time after that is done blooming, I go through and do a light trim and take those buds off just because I think it looks a little bit better. And then a lot of times later in the summer, you can get another bloom spike off of them, which I think is great. English lavender looks good almost year round, blooms, smells good, all of those wonderful things. And right next to it here, I planted this all at the same time. So this was just a 1 gallon perennial. This is a Truscantia, which is exactly the same thing as like the houseplant Truscantia, but this is the perennial version. And this particular one is called Blue and Gold, Golden Blue, something to that effect. What an awesome perennial with the bright golden foliage, the blue flowers just starting to come out. I love the contrast. I love yellow and blue together. Super easy to take care of. It looks terrible during the winter, so it does not fit into my list of my things for looking good year round. But if you're looking for a perennial to kind of pair with lavender that's going to bloom around the same time, the bright gold foliage is going to really show off the lavender flowers. This is an excellent perennial. It does come in other colors and varieties. I just particularly like the gold foliage with this one. Okay, she ain't so pretty right now. But trust me, this is a particular plant. It's called a hebe. There are lots of different varieties of hebes. And when we're done in the yard here, Jessica and me are going to go over to the nursery and I'm going to show you some varieties that are a little bit hardier than this particular one. This one is called Amy. Amy has some of the darkest foliage, but she tends to burn a little bit in the wintertime. Especially this area gets a lot of wind, and when we get that really cold days with wind, it burns. But I've had this here for 5-6 years, and it burns in the wintertime, and then I give it a drop down. And Jessica, if you come in here, you see some of these are dead, but look at all of this new growth coming out on here. It's going to be really good. It just will take a little bit, but these leaves coming up here, let's look at this. These are the buds coming up. It's kind of a purpley blue flower on that dark purple foliage. I just like the foliage on this one so much that I'm okay with it burning in the wintertime, and I just give it a really hard prune early spring. But there are other varieties that are much hardier and do not burn during the winter. So Jessica and me are going to go over to the nursery yard and I'll show you a couple of those. I think I got this for my mom. My mom has a thing for peonies. If you have seen our other videos where we're in my mom's yard, this is golden Itoa peony, and the flowers are just spectacular. It is just loaded with buds. And Jessica, the frame needs to stay right here because if you go out too much, you're going to see tons of weeds over there. But I just don't have time to weed everything right now. But I wanted to show you one of the things that I try and do in my garden is I try and pair plants together. I talked about how I love blue and gold. It's just a really nice combination that I like with flowers. So I have this golden Itoa peony that's going to bloom now for a couple more weeks. I have blue delphiniums that are coming up, just starting to bloom. This is a Delgenius Blue Fabulosa, I think is the name of it. But we have lots of different blue delphiniums in the garden center right now. And then this is a Veronica. This one, the thing I love about Veronica is when these flowers start to bloom down here, the blue starts here and then it has green at the tips. So you have blue and green all on one flower spike. And I mean, I planted this last year. And I mean, I think it was just a 6-inch pot. Look how good it looks this year. I gave it a little bit of time-released fertilizer, but some perennials. I have literally done nothing out here. I have been working 7 days a week for like the last month and a half. So, bulletproof, right? Easy to take care of, looks good. These are some of the stuff that I love right now in my yard. And I have one more of my kind of top 5 evergreen flowering shrubs I want to show you. I know I have talked about this in other videos before, but I know some of you are new, but I love this plant. Whenever someone comes out to the farm and they say, I am looking for something that is going to look good year round, flower, be fragrant, take partial shade, ta-da! Like, this is my go-to plant. This is Chiscia Sundance. Mexican orange is another name for it because the flowers give off a really nice citrus fragrance to it. And Jessica, it's just kind of finishing up blooming. They're not like super big flowers, but they smell so good. These are right as you come up to my house. So it's right the first thing you see when you pull in. I want something that I don't have to do a lot of work to. I know is going to look good year round. As you can tell, I like bright golden foliage. I live with all these giant trees and stuff around me, so I want something bright, something cheery, and this plant is the go-to plant. There's a couple other plants in here that I think are worth talking about. This is an Aurelia. This is a Monrovia exclusive, I think, still. This one is called Camouflage. This Aurelia, I have such a hard time with these giant trees around here that are going to do well because the trees just want to soak all the water out of the ground. So they really have to be drought tolerant. They have to be well established. And these have all done super well here. Lots of different Aurelias will do well in those kind of areas around your trees and stuff that you have a hard time with. I have a orange rocket barberry in here because I wanted some contrasting colors and textures. They've kind of, if you look kind of up this way, you can see how I've kind of alternated them and they have this nice hedge kind of coming. And then in the back, see if you can see it here, Jessica. This is Crocosmia. This is one of my favorite flowers during the summertime, and it sends up these giant flower spikes of red that kind of hang out over the top of this golden foliage. Really pretty. I love all these colors and contrast here. And yeah, so I want to take you over to the garden center. I want to show you some different versions of the plants that I talked about in my yard and what's available right now for you. So come follow me. All right, Jessica, time to go shopping. We just got a new shipment of jasmine in the other day, and I told everybody put it right up front because check it out. It is blooming its little heart out. It smells amazing. We get it in 1 gallons. They're kind of staked up so that it can go. We also get it where it's unstaked. You can kind of see how it can be a nice shrub. Either way, this is such a great evergreen, fragrant shrub for your garden. Ta-da! Jessica, detour. Cornus Cussus, we were just talking about. This is a golden variegated variety. Put these right out front too. What is this one? Summer Gold. The one that was at my house was Wolf Eyes, but check out the variegation on this one. And then this right here, I think is Heartthrob. Yeah, Heartthrob. Wonderful dogwood. And this one, like I like pink dogwoods, but I like this one where the leaves, you get the green of the leaves and then the pink of the flower. I think it stands out a little bit more. The flower size is really nice too. I always tell people when they come here, there's no master plan here. At one point in time, Jessica, look, this was a parking strip like line. This used to be, I remember when I was a kid, at one point in time, you kind of drove through here on your way out. We never knew where we were going. This was just like, let's see what happens. So we're working on getting some new signage and stuff up here because the garden center is kind of spread out. It's not a big box shape. It's not very intuitive. So we call this area, just kind of spin you around. We call this area kind of like our courtyard. And this is where I try to highlight some of the things that are coming in, some of the promos that are happening, things that are important. This is the courtyard where we keep a lot of that stuff. But we're going to head back and go check out some of those other of my top 5 picks. Okay, this is our Hebe table. So there's lots of different varieties of Hebe. These come from New Zealand for the most part. And New Zealand is a big island volcano, essentially, right? And so these throughout the island, based on the elevation at which that particular variety of Hebe grows, tells you kind of how hardy it is. And one kind of rule of thumb that I've found is that the larger leaf, more tropical varieties, like this variety right in front of you right here, Jessica, you see how the leaves are a little bit larger there? It's going to be a little more tropical. So this one's called Grace Kelly, cool variety, purple flowers. It's going to need protection in the wintertime. And then you can see the different shapes, and you can get all the way down to varieties that have a much smaller leaf. This one is called Botan Dome Hebe. Still has white flowers. This one's going to go down to 0 degrees. This is going to be super hardy, easy to take care of. Probably not going to burn during the wintertime like Amy is going to, which is another good conversation. So about zones, people ask me about it all the time. Technically, we are zone 8A. Now, if you buy a plant that is zone 8, what that's telling you is as perennial, it's going to come back. That's not telling you that that particular plant is not going to burn or get burned during the wintertime. So a lot of times I tell people, if we're zone 8, go a little lower, go down to zone 7. That's really what I'm looking for. Anything zone 7 or less, you're going to have a little bit better chance of success with. Zone 8 plants sometimes are going to get burned. They might die all the way back down during the wintertime and then come back. But there's a lot of different varieties in here that I just think they're so pretty. Check it out. This one, see how it has kind of a leaf in between the two? You can see the buds just starting to emerge on there. This particular variety is Red Edge. Really nice variety, also zone 7, hardy down to 0. If you are looking for an evergreen plant that blossoms, Hebe's, great choice. All right, Chiscia Mexican Orange. Looks like we have a couple different choices in stock right now at the farm. This is the Sundance. This is the one that I have at my front yard that I love, but check it out. This is just the normal evergreen variety that's green, not the golden color. I think they just call it Terranata, Chiscia Terranata. Really nice evergreen shrub. You can do this too if you like green, don't want gold in your yard. And there's different leaf structures. This is Chiscia Arizonica. Look how the foliage on this one is much more kind of a cut leaf, thinner foliage to it. All of these are going to be hardy. All of these are going to blossom. All of them are going to be evergreen. And I think I need one of these. Let's go check out the lavender. Lots of choices over here in lavender. When you see this kind of bumblebee flower top, these are the Spanish varieties. We have a lot of Spanish varieties that are hardy. I just don't have as luck with them coming back compared to the English varieties. Like check out this blue one right here, Jessica. Look how pretty that is. This particular one is Blue Spear. What a great name for this plant. You can see they don't have the frilly tops to it. They have the thinner leaves just like you have on ours. This is the English variety. This is what I prefer. Rounding out my top 5, gardenias. These are the hardy gardenia varieties. This is the Frostproof like we had at my front door. I love this variety. It does really well for me. And this is the other one that you'll see a lot. This is Clem's Hardy. Clem's Hardy is also it's a very hardy. Look at all the buds coming on here. But the flower on this is not as pretty to me as the Frostproof. It's still a great flower, still has the same fragrance, excellent plant, really hardy. There's a lot of newer ones coming out right now. So this is another new one. This one is called Sweet Star. This is a new introduction from Bailey's. This particular one, look at the picture on it in the back there. You can tell it has really nice size blossoms to it. They're maybe not as full as Frostproof, but look at the look how full it is. I mean, really nice and full. And I mean bud, loaded with buds. I think this is going to be a really nice one. I'm going to put it in my yard right next to the Frostproof and kind of compare to see how it compares to one I already have that I know is really good. And we'll report back and see how it goes. I love our garden center. I just think it is so fun this time of the year to be out and about. The weather is perfect. It's 70 degrees. There's so many cool things at the garden center right now, and it's fun. Walking around and hearing all of you say, oh my gosh, I saw your video this week. I'm here because of this, that, and the other. And so when Jessica and me decide like what we're going to do on our videos, we try and really pick out things that are going to help you in your garden be successful. And I really think any of these top 5 plants are going to work great in your garden to be evergreen, bloom, give you fragrance, and be super low maintenance and easy to take care of. Follow along, and can't wait to see what we're going to do next week.